Welcome to the Cowboy Basketball Roundup with Oklahoma State head coach Travis Ford as we talk OSU basketball, and we've got a show loaded with highlights. And before we start with the Minnesota game, just sort of some thoughts on where your team is going into the Christmas break.
It's taken us a while, and it's a work in progress, to develop an identity as well as kind of go back and redo some roles as far as some guys who maybe before the season, didn't have a scoring role. Now they have to score, and we've got to put them in position to score. Defensively, we've changed some things up defensively because of personnel and things like that. I thought the Florida game was the first game I saw a little bit of chemistry, so I thought we took a step forward even though we didn't come up with the win, which was very disappointing. We've got to get better. We're turning the ball over way too much. That's like number one for us right now, is take care of the basketball. And a lot of times it's from our inside people more than it is necessarily our guards. We've got to do a much better job because teams, we're struggling to score at times, and when you're turning it over, then obviously it makes it that much more difficult. The next thing, we've just got to continue to work on trying to get some inside production scoring-wise. And we can get it. I think Mitchell Solomon can continue to get better inside. Anthony Allen, and then even Chris Olivier can do a little bit better. We may need to try to get Leighton Hammonds down in the post a little bit to try to get fouled or to create some shots as well.
Well, let's go right ahead and get into some of the highlights, because on consecutive Saturdays, the Cowboys faced teams from power conferences. First, Minnesota in Sioux Falls, South Dakota at the Pentagon, a really cool venue.
It was a great venue. The people there were absolutely tremendous, how they treated us, just a first-class facility and first-class people and how they treated us.
Leighton Hammonds scoring the jumper here. The thing is, though, not long after this, you fell behind by 9 points, and turnovers seem to be one of the issues in the first half.
Again, turnovers is something we have to correct and correct it quickly. It's putting us in a hole, and it's really putting us at a disadvantage. But I love the mentality we played with here. Our mental approach to this game was really good. When we got down 9 in the timeouts, guys were still very, very positive. We went to a zone that really, I thought, was the difference in the game. But you had two teams here who were really in need of a win. You could really feel the tension in the air.
What possessed you to go to that zone?
Well,
1-2-2 zone, I should say.
It wasn't necessarily the defense was that bad. We just needed something to change the momentum of the game. And we went to it. We got a couple. They took some long shots. We rebounded them. Were able to go to the other end for some baskets. I think it just gave our team a little bit of confidence because it was something different.
You see that the Cowboys are down 9. Then Chris Olivier scores 7 points in the last minute 30 of the first half to help you go on a run.
Well, in this game, we got a lot of production from a lot of different players, and that's what it's going to take. I thought Jawan Evans was absolutely terrific. Chris Olivier had 10 points in the first half. Mitchell Solomon had a great second half. It was the first game back for Tavar Shine. So, we got a lot of production from a lot of players. Leighton Hammonds made some big shots. Jeffrey Carroll made some shots. So when we're getting production from everybody, that's when we're going to be at our best.
The Cowboys were down 2 at half and then really started the second half strong, especially about 3 minutes in. You went on a run and you went up by 9 points.
Yeah, great offensive rebound there by Leighton Hammonds. I think he's getting more and more active on the glass, which we need. Joe Burton made some great shots. Good pass there to Jeffrey Carroll. Second half, I thought we just kind of put our foot on the pedal and kept it there.
Jeffrey Carroll, as a matter of fact, finished with 12 points in the game, and you see the run going on as we speak. And Joe Burton from deep put you up by 7.
We all know Joe Burton can shoot it. What I like is he's starting to defend and rebound much better. Nice pass and finish there. I loved how the bench got into this game. The bench was really, really excited. Gave our team a lot of energy from the bench, which is obviously very crucial.
And you mentioned earlier Tavar Shine back for the first time since the opener. Your thoughts on how he fared?
Well, I thought his presence was great for our team. I didn't think he played great, which was kind of expected. He's been out for so long. We knew he was going to be a little bit rusty, but just having him out there, somebody who has got a little bit of experience, still just a sophomore, I thought really was big for our team.
You were talking about the bench reaction. Why not react with 1 on the shot clock? The pass by Jawan Evans to Mitchell Solomon for a very big dunk in the final 2 minutes. That was a great play.
What I liked about it, and the players were, yes, they were excited that we scored, but they were more excited for Mitchell Solomon. And that's the type respect Mitchell has on our basketball team. Everybody wants him to do well.
Stay with us. Our highlights loaded show continues as we look back on the Cowboys' victory over Longwood after these messages. Welcome back to the Cowboy Basketball Roundup with Oklahoma State head coach Travis Ford. Let's continue on in our review of Cowboy basketball contests in December. Longwood came to Gallagher-Iba Arena. First ever Big South opponent that the Cowboys had faced, and a dangerous Longwood team, it seemed, Coach.
Well, from everything you read, this is supposed to be the best team Longwood's ever had. They've got a lot of experience, a lot of everybody returning. Just a really solid, especially offensively. They had some ridiculous offensive numbers, some really good offensive stats.
The thing was, though, you got off to a great start, 15-0 and 22-3, 4 threes and an old-fashioned three-point play in the first 4.5 minutes.
Well, you see this a lot. We really got up to a huge lead because of three-pointers, and that can be a little bit of fool's gold. You kind of settle into that, and you see so many teams start relaxing and taking their foot off the pedal, which we did in this basketball game, and we allowed a very good offensive Longwood team to get back in it.
Does that happen more with a team that maybe doesn't have as much experience?
Oh, absolutely. It can happen to a team that doesn't have much experience, which obviously we don't right now, but against a team that's really good offensively.
Yeah.
If you're playing against a team that's good offensively, your offense could cool off, and then they obviously have the ability to get back in the game quickly, which they can.
Jeffrey Carroll knocks down the three there as Longwood, as you can see, trying to make a run to get back into the game. But then Leighton Hammonds, who had a huge game, comes up with the steal.
Yeah, I thought he played really, really well. We go into halftime up 12, probably should have been up 16 or 18, so 12 wasn't bad. The problem in this game is how we started the second half offensively.
Yeah.
First 7 possessions, I don't think we hardly even hit the rim offensively. This is our first basket. 16 minutes to go, 4 minutes into the second half, there's our first basket. We really struggled offensively coming out of halftime.
Yeah, it was a 10-0 Longwood run that helped put Longwood back into the game, but Mitchell Solomon with a big putback there, and you were able to quickly stretch the lead back up to 8 points. He gets the dunk. You saw Burton make a big basket. He had another big bucket, and then you're back up to an 8-point lead.
And then Joe makes another shot, and we got it back to a double-digit lead. And Jawan, I thought, he continues to play well. But, once we had our back against the wall a little bit, as we told our guys, I thought they responded.
And we had a strange situation in this game. We couldn't see it. Nobody could see anything anyway. Went dark. You had a 43-minute power outage.
43-minute power. And it went completely black in the arena. But, when you have those instances, which I've been a part of them before, you got to keep your team focused. That's the number one thing. Second is keep them loose.
Yeah.
Keep them stretched out. And we came out of that 43-minute delay and really played well.
Yeah, you started after the delay with a 16-4 run. It was funny because after the delay, the play by both teams resembled the start of the game, it seemed.
Right, and that's kind of what we were hoping for, as far as it's almost like restarting after that long of a break. It is the beginning of a game, and one team's going to come out ready to play and focused, or somebody's going to come back and allow the delay to take away their focus. And I thought our guys did a great job of sticking together and coming out and playing well.
Stay with us. We look at the highlights of the Cowboys' big battle against the Florida Gators after these messages. We return on the Cowboy Basketball Roundup with Oklahoma State head coach Travis Ford. Next up, a game in Sunrise, Florida against the Florida Gators. Now, this didn't affect your game directly, but indirectly, a 43-minute delay because the backboard wouldn't work for the first game between Florida State and Florida Atlantic. That was really weird.
We had to delay our team back at the hotel. We actually were on the bus, and we got a phone call saying this game was going to be drastically delayed, so we stayed back.
Yeah, it was delayed about 20 minutes. The next idea was to go get a Nerf hoop, which would have probably suited your guys just fine.
Yes.
As Leighton Hammonds hits that three there, that was big.
No, I really love the mental approach, and I keep saying that because that's so crucial for our team, because we've seen a lot of times because of our inexperience that we're not focused the way we need to be. Our guys really had a great practice the day before, very good shoot around, and I thought did a great job of executing this scouting report.
We saw a couple of baskets from Hammonds and an assist there, and you mentioned Tavares Shine coming back. Of course, Hammonds was out the entire Charleston tournament with pneumonia. I don't know if people understand. It takes a while for guys to get back. Just because they're back playing doesn't mean that their game is 100%.
Oh, not at all. Especially when you've had a shoulder injury to your right shoulder. You're out early in the year. you've never gotten into a rhythm as a basketball player because you've been out for so long. And Shine is going to get there. Leighton Hammonds is just now, I think, getting back to playing the way he's capable of playing.
See, Tyree Griffin knocked down the jumper there against a Florida team that has a lot of talent, and as you were talking about prior to the game, a lot of experience.
A lot of experience. You know, they got 3 guys who played in the Final Four, got in the games in the Final Four, several McDonald's All-Americans. This is a very good Florida basketball team, ranked in the top 5 in rebounding, ranked in the top 5 in all the scoring or defensive percentages. Really good team.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're able to shoot well above what their opponents had been shooting. Tight game here. Hammonds with a bucket gives you a 2-point lead. Then you're playing from behind, but boy, you hung in there. You fell behind by as many as 10. Florida looked like they might be trying to land the knockout punch. You just wouldn't go away.
Well, again, our guys showed a lot of competitiveness, a lot of mental toughness. You see it's just hanging in there, rebounding the basketball. Out-rebounded a team that was ranked 5th in American rebounding, out-rebounding them. So we showed some toughness in this game. Again, very disappointing we lost and thought we should have won this game. But I thought we took a step in the right direction.
See the Cowboys down the stretch in the final moments. Jawan Evans knocks down the 3, but OSU comes up 2 points short against Florida. It's a 72-70 victory. I was going to mention Jawan Evans. What did you like about his performance in this game, maybe compared to some of the others?
Well, I thought he got off to a great start. As we told him, he's really got to get a sweat going in warm-ups because he's much better as games go on. We just need him to be great from the beginning. And I think you started for the first time really seeing him start to what I call shake and bake, really get defensive off balance and creating for himself with a floater or a layup or a pull-up or creating for his teammates. I thought he was in control of the game. He was in control of our offense, getting the ball where it needs to get from point A to point B off the dribble. And that's what we're going to need. We're going to need him to do a lot of creating for our basketball team.
Stay with us. You hear the story of Cowboy senior Chris Olivier after this. Welcome back to the Cowboy Basketball Roundup. Chris Olivier has joined Oklahoma State after transferring from Eastern Illinois, and he has certainly made a big impact on the Cowboy basketball team. But there are a number of things from his upbringing that have impacted him. Here's Allison Gappa.
In the height of Derrick Rose's basketball career and with Michael Jordan's reign still lingering in Chicago, a young Chris Olivier was watching closely, but with basketball dreams of his own.
Just in Chicago, basketball is intense, period. Like, I feel like if you can make it there playing basketball, you can make it anywhere. Some of the best players, like watching Derrick Rose, like that was an inspiration for everybody, just watching him be so great in the city. And so that really just pushed a lot of kids like my age. A lot of things going on in Chicago, you know, I was just looking for a way out. So, you know, I just coped with basketball. It was my way out, being able to have fun and express myself. You know, a lot of kids, they were doing like bad things and stuff like that, but I just had fun and loved the game.
What was it like growing up in Chicago?
You know, it's kind of rough, you know, a lot of killings and, you know, things like that around you, but, you know, like I said, basketball, it helped me stay focused because I had a goal in mind.
After growing up playing ball in Chicago, Olivier started his college career at Northern Iowa and then transferred to Eastern Illinois. He came to Oklahoma State as a graduate transfer, wanting to try his talents in the toughest conference in the country.
Eastern Illinois, that helped me a lot. You know, I was able to play my game. I got along good with the coach. You know, I was able to get, you know, the exposure I needed.
When you first got here, first couple of practices, how intense were those?
They were real tough. Early morning workouts, you know, doing a lot of running stadium steps. The sun isn't even out yet. You know, it requires a lot. After a month or so in, my body got used to everything. I lost some weight, and that just helped me.
Olivier lost 20 pounds during summer conditioning workouts to provide that athletic veteran post presence for the Cowboys this season. And his Midwest toughness is evident on the court. Off the court, he's still that easygoing boy from Chicago.
I'm just a cool, laid-back guy. Just simple, nothing too. Just a kid from Chicago.
Stay with us. Coach Ford is back for a final time when we come back. We're back on the Cowboy Basketball Roundup as we wrap things up with Oklahoma State head coach Travis Ford. You're now in an extended break for Christmas. You won't play again until December 29th. So what are the things on your checklist once you get the guys back Christmas night?
Well, I'm spending a lot of time right now just studying our team and what are we good at and try to maximize that. Our weaknesses, get better at those. We got to get better at taking care of the basketball. Got to get better moving the basketball offensively. I think our defense has taken some steps forward. We're going to have to work on our zone defense a little bit. It was really good in the Minnesota game, but we're going to need to rely on that once we hit Big 12 play a little bit more than we have been on a consistent basis. But I think we got a pretty good understanding of what guys can do right now. With all the injuries and everything going on, I think right now we've got a much better idea of what roles certain guys need to play and the identity of our basketball team.
Final thought, you've been without Phil Forte since the third game of the season because of an elbow injury. Any idea when you might have him back?
No, we really don't. It's kind of, as the doctors and everybody keep telling me, it's kind of up to Phil. When he feels like he can go, that's when he's going to be available for us. We want him to be 100% before he comes back. But we go to war with the guys who are ready to go. We can't, we haven't spent too much time talking about the guys that we haven't had. And we've had a lot of guys that have been sick and injured. Phil's working hard every day with the trainers, working very hard. When he feels like he can go and help this basketball team and get out there, he will. If he can't go, he can't go. We'll go with the guys who are in the uniforms.
For head coach Travis Ford and Allison Gappa, I'm Dave Hunziker. See you next time on the Cowboy Basketball Roundup.